Okay, well, this little video clip, I'd like to say a few things about bananas. This is a banana. This is called a finger, whereas this is called a hand. Got it there, Sean? And obviously, as you can see there, this is a bunch. This is quite a small one, actually. If you look over here, Sean, this is the male flower. This one's quite dried out. And then these are the female flowers that will eventually turn into our bananas that we know. This can be eaten, this male flower. It's a bit like asparagus. I've never tried it, but I know in some places they do eat it. These bananas will grow perhaps like that bunch over there, Sean. Can you see that bigger bunch? No, the other way. That way. Got it? When they're a bit bigger than that, they're cut off with a machete, taken to the pack house while they're green, then shipped all around the world. Shipped green. When they get, in our case, to the UK, they're put in pack houses and treated with ethylene. Ethylene is the gas that fruit gives off when it's ripening, and that turns the hard green banana into a soft and tasty yellow one. This variety of banana is called dwarf Cavendish, and dwarf Cavendish are the only really internationally traded varieties. There's hundreds of species of bananas and hundreds of varieties, but because supermarkets want everything the same, because they assume consumers want everything the same, the only international traded variety is dwarf Cavendish. Called dwarf because it's relatively small. Some banana trees are 20 foot high. Obviously dwarf fruit, like dwarf fruit trees for example, are much easier to work on, much easier to harvest. And the trouble with monocultures is that disease builds up. Up until 1960s, we all used to eat one called Gros Michel, Big Mike. Then Big Mike becomes susceptible to a soil-borne fungus which wipes them out. So from the 1960s on, we got dwarf Cavendish because dwarf Cavendish was not susceptible to Panama disease, this fungus. Unfortunately now, the fungus that causes Panama disease has mutated and advanced and evolved. Poor old dwarf Cavendish is the same. So there are problems in the future for dwarf Cavendish bananas. We won't get them for much longer. And no one really knows how they're going to replace them. This plant will live for 25 years. And you can see, look at all the branches and stuff on the floor. Nothing's cleaned up. It's an ideal environment for diseases to build up. These terraces have been here for hundreds of years, only for growing bananas. So this is a typical monoculture situation where problems will eventually arise. To harvest this, they're chopped off and, as I said, taken to the pack house. Then the mother plant is cut down, and left at the bottom, see that, Sean, is a little sucker which will grow up for the next tree. In the Canaries where we are now, they're called Hijos sons or Hija daughters. I can't quite remember, one or the other, but I don't really care. So there's the new one, and within about a year it will make a new bunch. You can hear the wind blowing now. Normally a banana leaf is one big lovely blade, but with coastal winds they rip. And look, they still work, they still photosynthesize, but they rip and look like this. If you were growing a banana in Britain, in your conservatory, which I would say is a waste of time, you will get nice decorative leaves. You'll be lucky to get any bananas, to be honest. Bananas like it ideally 80 degrees all year round. So bananas are only grown in a belt around the world where it's tropical, or here it's perhaps semi-tropical. But no need to show them, Sean. But there's all windbreaks all around, so it's much warmer than it would be otherwise. Bananas like nice, well-drained, friable, rich soil. Like this stuff is down here, you can see it, Sean. And we're in the Canaries, so it's all volcanic. It's really, really good soil, really good conditions. But of course, the disease problem is gradually building up. I'm just going to turn my notes over here. There we go. Nearly done. The only other crop more sprayed is cock, and you don't eat cock. So as edible fruit, banana is the most sprayed. Obviously, you're going to peel it. It's got a nice thick skin, so you will get less fungicides and pesticides because of that. But nowadays, modern sprays are systemic. They just go hit any part of the plant and they go right inside it. So how much better a peeled banana is, I don't know. But like I say, most sprays now are systemic. Briefly, I'll talk a bit about the politics, which is absolutely disgusting. We used to get our bananas from the Canaries and then later the Caribbean. Small, homegrown, small patches like here. These bananas here aren't for export, they'll just be for local use. Now we get them from South America, from the so-called banana republics, where you've got huge American corporations, there are 3 of them, own huge swathes of the best land in the country, and all the money goes back to America and for that top rank of plutocrats that control the country. They're called dollar bananas, made by Dole, Chiquita, forgot the other one. Fifes are an Irish company, and they tend to get more from the Caribbean. But I would say, as a final thing, don't eat your dollar bananas. Don't eat your sprayed bananas. Buy them fair trade, buy them organic. They don't cost much more, and as you can see here, they really do get sprayed. That'll do, Sean, I think. Any questions? You're right? Okay, thank you very much.